record for the most lie detector and DNA fails. We will talk to members of the Bundren family, as well as a neighbor and the Reverend, to gain more insight into the religious hypocrisy these individuals.
Well, thank you for joining us today. I know you're very busy worrying about selling your cakes, so thank you for taking the time.
Oh, no problem. Maybe your audience would be interested in purchasing these cakes. It is the Christian thing to do, you know.
Well, speaking of Christian things to do, can you please tell us about your stance on questioning God's decree and honesty?
Why, of course. If it is God's will that some folks has different ideas of honesty from other folks, it is not my place to question his decree.
That's very interesting. When we asked you that very question while you were hooked up to the lie detector, we confirmed that it was a lie.
That's preposterous.
In fact, Charles Reagan Wilson described you as, I quote, a self-righteous, complacent churchwoman minding other people's business.
I have tried to live right in the sight of God and man, for the honor and comfort of my Christian husband and the love and respect of my Christian children, so that when I lay me down in the consciousness of my duty and reward, I will be surrounded by loving faces, carrying the farewell kiss of each of my loved ones into my reward. I even told Addie this.
Yes, exactly. You told Addie this as she was laying, dying alone, hiding her pride and her broken heart. You do realize this is not a Christian behavior, right?
Are you suggesting that I am a hypocrite? I am not doing this.
And on that note, thank you for joining us today. We'll be right back with our next guests, Aunt Bundren and Reverend Whitfield.
Welcome back. I'm sitting here with Aunt Bundren and Reverend Whitfield. Now, gentlemen, as you know, we have conducted a DNA test to determine who is the real father of Joel Bundren. But before we get to that, we would like to ask each of you to state your opinions. Reverend Whitfield, you may go first.
Murphy, thank you and bless you. I'd first like to start by telling Ants that even though he's a very sinful man, he can still ask God for forgiveness, and he will accept you for your deed.
Reverend, you do realize that no one takes you seriously. And while we have you here, is there anything you'd like to confess to Ants?
Well, excuse me, Murphy. I don't seem to understand what you're suggesting.
We asked our lie detector if you believe that Addie Bundren was another erring mortal lay while her soul faced the awful and irrevocable judgment. And you answered no. Our lie detector test, that was a lie.
How could you think that about my wife? I've done my best. I tried to do as Addie would wish it. The Lord will pardon me and excuse the conduct of them he sent me.
And just because you know the Bible does not mean you have a pure soul. In fact, in our investigation into your past, we determined that you, in some way, encompass all of the 7 deadly sins. But, you know what, the results are in, and you are not the father.
Who?
Reverend Whitfield, you are the father.
Oh, hell no!
We'll be right. And for our last interview for today's show, we have Joel Bundren. Joel, how does it feel being your mother's biggest sin, yet also her savior?
It doesn't matter. There is a God, what the hell is he for?
But you saved her from the water and the fire.
Yeah, I was just trying to get to Jefferson and just get this whole thing over with.
You know, you're often believed to be Addie's favorite child. In some ways, because of this, you should have some Christ-like characteristics, right?
Nah, that's my brother Cash. But like I said, what does it even matter?
We'll be right back after this. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Tune in tomorrow as we dive in deeper to the Bundren family dynamics and discuss Dewey Dell's scandalous situation. However, as we have learned today, as this family faced a series of trials in the wake of a traumatic event, Addie's death, their journey to bury her contained much more meaning. Through the use of biblical allusions and religious contradictions, we have noticed the backwardness of the Bundren's family's ethics. Our investigation into this family and their neighbors has shed light on the impact of the religious hypocrisy. Each person's secrets and their deeper meaning has a significant impact in a disastrous trek to Jefferson. Thank you.